We're doing an exercise now on page 213. Qu'est-ce que tu vas faire? So let's read the directions on page 213. Oops. Let's see. Ask your classmates what they're going to do if they're going to do the following things this weekend. So you're going to both ask a question and answer it. So the example here is étudier. Étudier. So I'm gonna ask est-ce que tu vas étudier ce weekend? And then I could say oui, je vais étudier ce weekend, or I could say non, je vais aller au cinéma, or something like that. You can answer however you want. So let's assign it. Charlotte, did you just go, Charlotte, in the last exercise? I'm trying to remember. Okay, Charlotte numéro 1, Julia numéro 2, Shayna numéro 3, Emma numéro 4, Emma, other Emma, numéro 5. Okay, so both ask the question and answer it. Now there's two things, well actually just mostly, well, I guess it's two things we're putting into practice here. The real thing we're putting into practice here is the near future. The near future, which you remember has two parts, okay? Part one is the verb aller, and it is conjugated in the present tense. And that's the second thing you have to put into practice is conjugating aller. Part two is the action verb, which is not conjugated, or as we say, it's infinitive. Infinitive. If you recall how to do all of that. Very good, est-ce que tu vas travailler? Non, je ne vais pas travailler. So Charlotte, don't forget your negative sandwich. You have one piece of bread, but you're missing the bottom piece of bread. Je vais aller rester. Oh, that looked good, whatever you started. Okay. Est-ce que tu vas surfer sur le net? Non, je ne vais pas surfer sur le net. Très bien. Est-ce que tu vas regarder la télé? Très bien. Oui, je vais regarder la télé. You guys are doing excellently. Je ne... Oop. Okay, wait. So let's do the second sentence. Je vais aller rester à la maison. That's great. So your negative sandwich, great, you have both parts, but right now it looks like bread, and then meat. So we do the negative, if the near future, the negative sandwich goes around just part one. Part two is left on the outside. Perfect. Perfect. Je ne vais pas travailler. Parfait. I'm a little confused with mine because I'm trying to say, are you going to go? Do I put va in there twice? That doesn't really make sense. Oh, well, yeah, yes, you do put it in twice. And the first time it's conjugated and the second time it isn't. Just like the way we say in English, going and then to go. That's both the word, those are both the verbs to go. And the first one is conjugated, going, and the second one is not. It's in to go form. It feels awkward, but it's actually, you're totally correct. All right. Je vais aller. I know that, right? So that's the weird thing about learning a language is you learn about your own language, actually. A surprising amount. Est-ce que tu vas au cinéma? It's the same thing when you travel. It's weird. You go to learn about other countries and you actually end up learning a lot about your own and yourself by comparison. It's weird. Oui, je vais. Oops, you forgot aller. You forgot your second verb. You have part 1 but not part 2 of the near future. Number 5. Est-ce que tu vas inviter des amis? Oui, je vais inviter des amis. Oh, it's okay. I know sometimes it doesn't let me change it either, as I tell you, usually when I'm doing it. Well, you guys are doing really well, so I'm very proud of you. Seems like you got it. Do you have any questions on any of this? The near future, conjugating aller. What's the other one? Blanking. Oh, Shay. It's okay. You can just write it below, Emma. That's fine. Just like squeeze a little aller next on the bottom. Oh, I see it now. Okay. Yeah, don't worry about it. Ta-da. Good job. Well done. And that's it for our révision. Any questions on last week's stuff? Okay, let's move on to new stuff. I like having our lessons kind of straddle 2 weeks because it gives you some time to like be introduced to it and then put it into practice and revisit what you maybe didn't understand. So, leçon 14, au café de l'univers. I'm actually going to skip the dialogue. You should read it though, it's cute. For now, because I want us to get through all the parts. If we have time at the end, we'll return to it. So, this picture's in the textbook. Oh, you're talking about the pic. No, Alex, I actually totally forgot on accident, but I'll do it next week. I'll give myself a reminder right now. Alex sent me a picture of him meeting up with another student. It was really fun. Okay. I have to write things down immediately. Is anyone else like that? All right. Grammaire, verbs. Okay, so first we're going to learn a new verb, and this, guys, is your first time that we're learning a verb that's not part of the like most important verbs in French. This one's commonly used. We use the word to come, but I feel like the like our cardinal verbs avoir, être, avoir, faire, aller, and I think we'll be learning one more before the year ends. This is just another important one, but it's not like one of the most important ones. So I feel like you're like progressing past the basics. Our verb is venir, which means to come. I actually have no clever way of helping you remember what it means. Because I learned French when I first learned English too, and all I can think is viens. I don't know, just yeah, anyways. Like of course it means come. Okay, so anyways, it's conjugated very strangely, so you do have to memorize it as it is. Je viens, tu viens, il, elle, on vient. And these three all are pronounced the same. Viens, viens, viens. Nous venons, vous venez, il, elle viennent. Often, when we have the like double consonant in the ENT here, we kind of put a stronger emphasis on the double consonant. Viens, viens, viens. Venons, venez, viennent. So lower your hands if you just did the last exercise. Dara, can you translate I am coming? Rachel, Mark is not coming with us. MJ, are you coming to the movies? Although, you know what, Dara, what might be even more specific is if you say I come. That'll probably be easier. It's more specific. There you go. Perfect. Je viens. Très bien. Mark is not coming with us. Marc ne vient pas avec nous. Marc ne vient pas avec nous. Very good. Are you coming to the movies Je ne viens pas. Oh, you responded. That was a nice response, but the translation would have been Est-ce que tu viens au cinéma? But you oh, that's fine. I mean, it works. You're grammatically correct. Okay, so that's venir. Any questions about venir? To come, viens, 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 venons, venez, viennent. Okay, do not be sorry. All right, so I'm going to teach you another verb that is the exact same thing, except there's an re at the front. Reviens, which means to come back, to re-come, essentially. Okay, je reviens, tu reviens, il, elle, on revient. Nous revenons, vous revenez, ils, elles reviennent. Same exact idea. MJ, I think you just went. So Elizabeth, can you translate what time are you coming back? And Madison, can you translate we are coming back at 10 p.m.? So it functions the exact same. It's basically, if you just cover the RE, it looks the exact same as venir. This is our first IR verb, by the way. These two verbs functions the exact same, and it means to come back. We venir and then we revenir, come back. Oh, really, Emily? You have a song that uses the word revient? Cool. What's the song called? Après une rêve, after a dream. Nice. What time? À quelle heure? Good. Without any help, I was forcing you to recall way back to when we did questions. Ooh, how do we do that again? But you did it. À quelle heure? And then est-ce que? That's the R. That's the R here. R, or in a question, or do, you know. What time? À quelle heure? Est-ce que tu... And then come back, which would be reviens. We are coming back at 10, but nous revenons à 10 heures. Perfect. Well done, guys. Well done. So that's venir and that's revenir. Let's... Sure, why not? 218. Sorry, I have to scroll to the right page here. Okay. Tell a friend where you are. Is this the right one? Why am I? Picnic. No. The French club is organized. I thought that wasn't right. Okay. The French club has organized a picnic. Say who is coming and who is not. Oh, yeah. Duh. So, okay. So Alice is coming. Jean-Pierre is not coming. And so forth. So let's see. Xavier numéro 1, Sarah numéro 2, Emily numéro 3, Emma numéro 4, Emma numéro 5. Huh, you guys are right next to each other again. That's funny. So let's say I'm going to do an example, just make up my own. SpongeBob. If it says we, I'd say il, or SpongeBob. Bob l'éponge. Ne, or oui. Il vient. Or if it was non, I'd say il. Hey, what is it? Il ne vient pas. Pretty easy. We're just practicing the conjugation. Is someone moving around my box? It kept moving around. Maybe I did it on accident. Okay. Alice vient. Good. Okay, so right now you're saying Alice, for number one, Alice comes the picnic. If you want to add the word to, if you want to add the picnic part, say to the picnic. So it'd be au pique-nique. Because we can't say à le pique-nique. We have to say au pique-nique. AU. Il vient. Right, because you would have to insert Alice comes, and then it'd be a apostrophe, with the accent grave, and then le pique-nique, except we never say le. It would have to be, oh, are you following? Jean-Pierre. Well, okay, so number two, it says no, he's not coming. So you have to make it the negative. Paul et Caroline viennent. Good. Vous ne venez pas. Très bien. Je viens. Très bien. Here, Xavier, I'll do it like in a slow motion. Alice vienne. We want to say to the picnic. À le pique-nique. Right? Because we don't want to say, first you had Alice vient le pique-nique, which is Alice comes the picnic, which we don't even say in English. We do have to say to the picnic or at the picnic. But wait a second, we never ever ever have à le next to each other. So it becomes Alice vient au pique-nique. Perfect. Good. Good fix. Jean-Pierre ne vient pas. Très bien. Très bien, tout le monde. Next, this is the exact same idea as the a when we had the a plus article défini, except now it's with de. So let's refresh ourselves. De means, like all prepositions have fluid meaning. Excuse me. It can mean from. Patrick vient de la bibliothèque. He comes from the library. Excuse me. Of. Quelle est l'adresse de l'école? What is the address of the school? Or it can mean about. Je parle de mon copain. Talking about my friend. So that's what de means. Now, same idea. Whenever de and le are next to each other, they must turn into du. Whenever de and la are next to each other, they can stay de la. Whenever de and les are next to each other, they must become des. Marc vient du café. Marc vient de la piscine. Marc vient des Champs-Élysées. Marc vient de l'hôtel. It helps me to remember that think of du and o as if they contain two words. It's like a smushed version, or it's like a word that really means two words, if that helps you. Let's do an exercise where all the friends have met together, rendezvous au café, and we're talking about where each person came from. So I'll sign it and then I'll do the example. Emily numéro 1, Charlotte numéro 2, Rachel numéro 3, Jana numéro 4, MJ numéro 5. Jack and le musée d'Orsay. Oh, permissions. That's okay, you can go again then. That's fine. Charlotte, I believe you were number 2. So, Jacques, vient du musée d'Orsay. So I'm putting into practice two things. 1, I'm conjugating vient. 2, I'm using the correct version of de, of du, de la, or des. 2 things I'm putting into practice here. I'm sorry, I only remembered Charlotte because I know she was near the top, but I can't remember everyone else. I can reassign it. Or tell me which number you remember, those of you who I assigned. So Emily's number 1, I think. Charlotte's number 2. Jana's number 4. MJ's number 5. That sounds about right. Yeah. All right. Sylvie vient du Louvre. Parfait. Isabelle vient du parc de la Villette. Jean-Paul vient du centre Pompidou. Très, très bien. François vient du quartier latin. Très, très bien. Yeah, so MJ, yeah, you're 5. Cécile vient de l'avenue. Parfait, parfait. All right, let's move on. Oops, there's a typo here. This should be nom plus de plus nom. All right, so this is something kind of new. So prepare your brains. It's it's simple. It's simple, but it's maybe not quite easy to understand. So this is a new kind of thing. Let me start off by saying, in English, sometimes we have 2 nouns next to each other. One, like, let me look. Let's start with examples. Race car, or what was the other one? Tennis racket. Tell me in English, which one is for race car? Which is the main noun? One noun is being used adjectively, is the correct term, linguistic term, but one is being used to describe the other. One is kind of an adjective type a noun working like an adjective, and one is the main one. So which one is the main one? Car. Correct. Car. How about tennis racket? Which one is the main noun? What is the object we're actually talking about? Racket. Duh. Yes, I know those are simple questions, but I'm trying to have you I'm trying to point out that in English, when we have 2 nouns one together to describe something, the second one is the main one in English, and the first one describes it. Right? We're not talking about tennis, we're talking about a racket. The word tennis is a noun, but it's describing the racket. We're not talking about a race, we're talking about a car. The car is the noun that we're talking about. The noun race is a noun, but it's describing car. Okay? In French, it's flipped. It's opposite. The main noun is first. So let's look at this. The main noun comes first, and then we actually have to have de in between the main noun and the what we call the modifying noun, or the noun that's describing or acting like an adjective. So the main noun in French is the first noun. In English, it's the second noun. A noun may modify or give information about the main noun. The modifying noun is placed next to the noun with de. So we have race car would be voiture de sport. The main verb in English is car, and it comes second. The main noun in French is voiture, and it comes first. Tennis racket would be raquette de tennis. Exactly. That's a great example, Elizabeth. In English, we say video games. In French, we say jeu de vidéo. I love it when you guys connect. That's like connect things from other lessons and stuff. Exactly. There are other examples that the textbook had. For example, like a French class. French is actually technically an adjective, but it's the same idea. It'd be classe de français, or for Spanish class, classe d'espagnol. There always has to be the de there in French. So our main noun is class, okay? But in French, we must have the de. The de, the de, the de. In French, they don't really have like S apostrophe S like we have in English. Pomme de terre, there you go. Yeah, exactly. This actually makes a lot more sense in English, yeah. I think that a lot about French, to be honest. I remember my dad had this really good friend he'd talk to on the phone that was, she was also bilingual, spoke French and English, and every time they talked on the phone, they would go back and forth because some things sounded better, like you could explain better in French, and then they'd start speaking in French, and then some things you can explain better and make more sense in English, and they'd go back and forth fluidly without thinking about it. And that's because other languages communicate some things better or more clearly. Any questions about that? Any questions about this? Nom de nom. French and English were actually simultaneously my first language. However, my parents are American, and I've spent more time in America than I have in France. So I'd say English is my primary. But in terms of linguistics, I did a paper on this in college. Both occurred at the same time. They're both in my primary language place in my brain. All right, pronouns. This is another simple thing that is sometimes hard to grasp because it's so simple. So, this is called stress pronouns, or in English, I think we call them the direct object pronouns. It's a difference between the subject and stress. Je would be I, and then does anyone know what the stress pronoun in English is? Me. The difference between I and me. In English, tu and toi. It's English, they're both you. You, you. The subject pronoun, il, elle, he, she. The stress pronoun is yes, Madison. Yes, it is him, her. Good job. Sometimes I don't give you guys enough credit for the grammar terminology, you know. English grammar terminology. Is the subject one is we. Oh no, sorry, it's we. I always get that one mixed up. And the stress pronoun would be us. Very good. You, again, is the same in English, also in French for vous. And then finally, il, elle is the subject pronoun is. Oops, it's not letting me type. Hold on a second. It is they, and the stress is them. Okay, I have a finger pointing here because I really think of the best way I think it's helpful to think of it is like we're pointing to you over there, or me or him or her or them. It's usually what the subject is or the sentence is pointing to. Let's look at some examples. So we have moi, toi, lui, elle, nous, vous, eux, elle. Moi, toi, lui, elle, nous, vous, eux, elle. François dîne avec Florence. Oui, il dîne avec elle. Yes, he dines with her. Tu parles de Jean-Paul? No, je parle pas de lui. Are you talking about Jean-Paul? No, I'm not talking about him. If you put il there, you'd be saying non, je ne parle pas de he. I'm not talking about he. But we want to say we're not talking about him. Moi, je parle français. As for me, I speak French. Vous parlez anglais. C'est Paul là-bas? Non, ce n'est pas lui. No, it is not him. Qui parle français ici? Moi. Who speaks French here? Me. Or you wouldn't say I, je. No, you'd say moi or me. Lui et moi, nous sommes copains. Him and I. Well, actually, technically, you would in English say him and me. Nous sommes copains. That's one of those weird things that is we use the incorrect version so often. English is starting to become common. Anyways, voici Marc et Paul. Here's Marc and Paul. Je parle souvent d'eux. I speak often of them. If you said je parle souvent d'ils, you'd be saying I speak often of they. We don't say it. We speak often of them. Je vais chez moi. I'm going to my house, or the house of me, essentially. Any questions on this? We're going to skip the exercise so I can get through the last bit. This is one of those things that for some reason students have kind of a hard time when you do your exercises. So it makes sense. Oh yeah. Instead of saying I would say me and it'd be moi. But when it comes to actual exercises, sometimes you have a hard time. So make sure you think extra hard about that. I'm going to skip the exercise and move on to the vocabulary really quick. So, because there's a little grammar bit hidden in there. We're talking about sports. We say le foot. More often than not, they just say foot instead of football, ball, even though football is the full name. Same with le basketball, le ping pong, le volleyball, le tennis. Okay? And in French, when we say we play a sport, specifically a sport, so we know the verb play. To play is jouer. We just play a sport. It's a, and then le. So I would say, je joue au ping pong, right? Or tu joues. I guess they're all le, right? So it'd be au tennis. It'd be a plus the le, la, le, and then the name of the sport. Swimming would be Alex. Well, actually, you would just say nage. You would say Alex nage. You wouldn't say play swimming, just like you wouldn't say play swimming in English. I wonder if there's, because, okay, so I wonder there's, I don't know if this is, Alex joue au natation. That I don't think is correct, but that natation is like the sport of swimming. Anyways, okay, so that's sports. Now, when we're playing games, les échecs, les dames, les cartes, les jeux vidéo, les jeux d'ordinateur. We also do a and le plus le la, les. Je joue aux échecs. You have to speak up if you don't understand because I am going a little faster. Tu joues aux les jeux vidéo. I'm almost done. Stick around for just 1 second. Last thing. Now, if we play instruments, that's the only. However, we do de. So, when it comes to playing sports, when it comes to playing games, we say a le la le. A le la le. When it comes to instruments, we do de. And that, if you have to go, you can go. Je joue du piano. Tu joues de la flûte. Does that make sense? Nous jouons de la batterie. Okay, so sports and games, we jouer à. Music, we jouer de. Okay, So thanks for staying 1 minute late with me. That's it. Have a great week. Have a blessed week. And I will see you next week. Email me if you have any questions or concerns. Au revoir.